Hi, this is Starla, and I am going to show you guys today how to do something so frugal and so helpful for this coming gardening season. And that's what we're going to do is we're going to take some cuttings off of your house plants that you have around your house so that you can start some hanging baskets. And this is just a really frugal way to have plants out on your porch that you got cuttings from in your own home. One of the best plants to take cuttings off of is a spider plant. This spider plant was actually started by just a simple start. They have these babies. They're always making babies, and somebody gave me just a couple, and this is what got started. So actually what I'm going to do is take some here from the front, and these poor plants really want to get outside because they've really seen better days. See, and that's just a bunch of plants, and these actually have rootlets on the bottom. And you can either put those in water and they'll get larger roots, or you can actually stick those down into damp soil and they'll take root. So spider plants are a great one to start. This, I don't even actually know the Latin name for it or even the common name, but it kind of resembles like spiderwort. It grows like all over Florida. And I got this plant on the reduced plant section. And you basically can't kill it because it will live through drought, it will live through neglect, and you can just snap it off, literally. I'm not going to do that. And you can put this down in water, it'll root, and then you can start a new plant. Wandering Jew that I got last year at Aldi, and I am embarrassed because it's really been through, the winter. But this thing used to be huge, like this big, and I took lots of cuttings off of it. And all you have to do is this same thing. We'll stick that in water and it'll root, and we'll have another plant from the mother plant. We've come away from our mother plants, and we've taken cuttings and we've taken starts, and that's what we've got here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the ends. You want to make sure the leaves that are if you can help it, cut it on an angle. And make sure the leaves aren't in the water. Now, if they are a little bit, it's okay. But if you can keep them out, that's good. Like that one, we'll take that off real quick. So you just literally just stick them down in the water and they will root. And I really believe these must be like from the succulent family because they just literally, since I did that one on an angle, we're fine. Just do this. And this is just a pickle jar. Don't do anything fancy. Use what you have. There's another one. We already did that one on an angle. So we're going to clip that leaf off and stick it down in. And you can do the same thing with the spider plant. And here's some that I did just a couple days ago. You can stick those down in water as well. I got these cuttings from a lady at Mercy's Unlimited, and I'm not going to misquote the name, so I'm just going to say it's a very common house plant. And I think these have been in for a couple weeks, and they're starting to make roots because at the leaf of these kind of house plants, at the leaf, there's always a node. That node can create a root. And see down at the bottom, this one's already made roots off of a node. And see these already making roots, already making a new plant, which will be a leaf. These have been in for about 3 weeks, and these have been in about the same time. And I got to be honest with you, a lot of these were just going to be thrown away. But I thought, oh geez, I really would like to make some more Wandering Jew plants. So they have really good root structure down in the bottom. And, you know, even one like this looks like it's going to die. It's already getting a new leaf. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense. These things don't really want to die. So we will just, you know, you can just stick that back down in the water and you've got plants. Okay. One of the things I want to mention before we get started, we recycle old potting soil, and some people are opposed to that, and I totally understand that, but Potting soil gets really expensive if you're going to have tons of pots, and we usually do. So what we do is we recycle it. We sometimes get some new and toss in with it. But what you're going to do is you want to make sure you feed all of your plants that soil, because if it's recycled, it's probably depleted of a lot of good nutrients. You can also enhance it with some kelp, maybe even some eggshells. I've done the kelp and I've done the eggshells, but you still want to feed your plants because they're going to need it with recycled soil. Hanging baskets for your cuttings is pretty simple. Actually, you can find these in people's trash at the end of the seasons, and you can also sometimes find them at thrift stores that people have donated them, or you can just recycle the ones that you got from last year. And here's the ones that we have. And a lot of people think you should wash them with bleach water, but I've never done that, because if there was anything living on this that was like a virus or something, it surely died in Ohio with our 20 below weather. So that's my bid for cleaning. Okay, so what we have is we're going to recycle some old soil, and you just want to take out any of the old tidbits and stuff. Just set that aside. And what I'm going to actually do is, this is some really loose soil, and this is some heavier, so I'm going to mix the two together. You don't actually have to even have any garden tools. You could just use like a cup from your kitchen. Just use what you have. We've shown you what they look like to cut them, to put them in our jars. Now we're going to take the ones that we did a couple weeks ago that have some rootlets and put them in the pots. So what you're going to do is what we're going to do is we're just going to take this whole thing out. And it's going to be kind of messy. That's okay. So we've got, going to stick that down in there. That's got some roots. This has got some roots. This one hasn't really rooted that well, but that's okay. These, we've got kind of a mass of roots. That's okay. Now that we took our rooted cuttings out of that glass of water, we've got them in the pots with their roots in, and now we're going to cover them with some soil. This is just, again, you don't have to have fancy equipment. This is just an old sour cream container. Recycling at its best. And when you get started, they're not going to be real pretty. That's okay. They'll be pretty by the middle of June when you want that look on your porch. Plants, you can just take them and you can stick them right down into the soil. It's just like that. The rootlets go down, push it down in. And you can do that with the same thing on the other side here, right like that. And you'll want to keep these really damp, and from here on out, you're going to have this beautiful, it'll go through a metamorphosis. It won't look that great for a while, probably about a couple weeks as it establishes its roots, and then it'll look really pretty.